Property owners affected by the secular road demolition seek prompt compensation. International Criminal Court establishes war crimes against rebel group in Sudan. What happened this day in history? Find out in our Lest We Forget segment. Heart of the Matter is on reducing the trend of jungle justice. You can track us on www.radionigeriaibadan.gov.ng, X, Instagram and Facebook at PFM935 Ibadan. I'm Emilia Ojimudia. Now the details of the news. The All Progressives Congress APC in Oyo State has vowed to approach the 2027 general election with unity of purpose. Two chieftains of the party in the state, Senator Olufemi Lanlehi and Professor Taurid Adedoja, made the vow in their acceptance speeches as chairman and co-chairman of the Oyo APC Reconciliation Committee during the inauguration at the party's secretariat in Ibadan. Senator Lanlehi and Professor Adedoja promised that all concerns and complaints being raised by some stakeholders would be addressed to enhance the performance of the party in next year's general election. The two chieftains lauded the state executive of the party for setting up the Reconciliation Committee, which according to them was a right step. In his remarks, the chairman of the party in the state, Chief Moses Adeyemo, charged the committee to use their wealth of experience to address all grievances which might have evolved in the course of the last party congresses and primaries. Property owners affected by the secular road demolition in Onara local government area of Oyo State have appealed to Governor Seyi Makinde to fast-track the payment of the compensation approved for their demolished buildings. Speaking on behalf of the affected residents, a leader of the victims group, Mr. Jimo Ahmed, commended the governor for approving compensation, especially for property demolished in 2023, but said many beneficiaries had endured prolonged hardship while awaiting payment. Mr. Ahmed claimed that the delay had taken a heavy toll on many of the victims, with some reportedly falling ill and others dying even before receiving their compensation. He explained that the recent peaceful protest by some affected residents was sparked by rumors that the approved compensation had already been disbursed, a development that created anxiety among beneficiaries. While appealing for understanding over the protest, Mr. Ahmed reaffirmed the group's confidence in the state government, expressing optimism that the compensation would soon be paid. Oyo State Deputy Governor Chief Bayo Lawal has described the communal clash at Ojo in Akinyele local government area of the state as unfortunate and avoidable, warning that government would not condone any conflict that threatens to degenerate into tribal tension. Chief Lawal stated this when he led government delegation to the scene while meeting with angry youths and community leaders. The deputy governor said the state government has launched an investigation to determine what triggered the violence and how ethnic tensions escalated to fatalities in the area. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Police, or Oyo State Command, has summoned the leadership of the two ethnic groups involved in the Ojo clash to ascertain the cause of the violence with a view to addressing it. He appealed to residents of the area to remain calm, avoid spreading unverified information, and cooperate with security agencies by providing useful information to assist the investigation. The force public relations officer, Mr. Olayinka Anyaladi, said normalcy had been restored to the Ojo and Sabo areas, adding that security operatives remained on the ground to maintain peace and prevent any further breakdown of law and order.
Control. Our men have been deployed there, and the operation is still ongoing to ensure safety in that area.
It will be recalled that economic activities were disrupted in the affected areas yesterday following a violent clash involving some Yoruba and Hausa residents. The incident created panic among residents and commuters, forcing shops and markets to close, while traders, commercial drivers, passengers and other road users fled for safety. And still on that, the Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Rashidi Ladoja, has called for peace among various parties involved in the clash that occurred at Ojo and Sabo areas of Ibadan. In a statement by his media aide, Chief Adeola Oloko, Oba Ladoja urged residents to embrace peaceful coexistence among the various ethnic groups in Ibadan land, describing peace and unity as tools for development. The monarch, who did not rule out the possibility of minor disagreement in human existence and relationship, enjoined the various parties concerned to tread with caution in view of the recent security situation in Nigeria. You are on to the news at 11 on Premier FM 93.5 from the stable of Radio Nigeria. We'll be back in a moment. Well, we're glad to know that you're still there with us. Now, on this day in 2011, South Sudan declared its independence after a referendum to secede from Sudan was passed. And now to the foreign scene. The International Criminal Court, ICC, says it has concrete evidence linking leaders of the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF, to recent war crimes in the Sudanese state of Darfur. The ICC's Deputy Chief Prosecutor, Mrs. Nazat Khan, told newsmen that the court had reached a breakthrough in its investigation into the massacre of civilians in the cities of Al-Fasher and El Janaina. Mrs. Khan said the siege and takeover of Al-Fasher marked one of the bloodiest episodes in the ongoing war between the RSF and Sudan's army, where more than 6,000 people were killed as the RSF seized the city in October last year. Meanwhile, RSF has reportedly denied carrying out widespread killings anywhere in the country and insisted that the issue had been exaggerated. And still on the foreign scene, Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto says the free meals program in the country is escalating into one of its biggest corruption scandals in years of officials as officials struggle to account for the $15 billion initiative amid allegations of graft and mismanagement. President Subianto said the free nutritious meals program launched in 2025 was aimed at addressing the chronic issue of stunted growth among children, improve their focus in school, and stimulate the local economy. Let's now bring you Heart of the Matter for today, which takes a look at reducing the trend of jungle justice. It is written by an intern from the Polytechnic Imesili, Osun State, Temitayo Ayodili.
In Section 33, 1999 Constitution, as amended, says, every person has a right to life, and no one shall be deprived intentionally of his life, save in execution of the sentence of a court in respect of a criminal offense for which has been found guilty in Nigeria. What is obtainable nowadays and which is daily becoming worrisome is the way and manner it is becoming easy to kill a human being. Just a rumor, a shout, or a business accusation is all that is needed, and within minutes, a fellow citizen whose life is protected is reduced to a charred corpse. No investigation is carried out, no evidence, no defense, and no trial. In every civilized society, the power to determine guilt and impose punishment is vested in the courts of law, even where the law prescribes the death penalty. That verdict is pronounced only after a fair and transparent trial. Even at that, a state governor has to sign the death warrant before execution. Cases of jungle justice abound in the country, with the recent being the gruesome killing of a schoolteacher and mother of four, Omolkairi Aliyu, in Maraban Jos, Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. She was accused of attempting to steal children, while no missing child was produced, with no parents coming forward to identify a victim, and no evidence was presented to support the allegation. Ironically, on that same day, in Abakaliki, Ebonyi State, another woman narrowly escaped a similar fate after she was falsely accused of stealing 3 children. She survived only because the police successfully rescued her. An international agency reports that thousands of Nigerians have been tortured or killed in recent years without ever seeing the inside of a courtroom. Jungle justice persists as a result of lack of trust in the criminal justice system, as it is believed that suspects arrested may regain freedom without prosecution. Corruption, weak investigations, endless adjournments, and slow trials have reportedly contributed to this practice. At this juncture, it is important that every individual involved in jungle justice must be identified, arrested, prosecuted, and, upon conviction, given the maximum punishment prescribed by law. At the same time, the government must recognize that police officers are sometimes overwhelmed by violent crowds. Reinforcements should be rapid, well-equipped, and capable of dispersing mobs before lives are lost. It is pertinent that the National Orientation Agency must launch sustained nationwide campaigns against jungle justice in English and local languages at every market, motor park, school, palace, mosque, and church. Nigeria needs to take a cue from countries like the United Kingdom, Germany, Japan, and South Africa, which have demonstrated that modern criminal justice system, though imperfect, can replace public vengeance with lawful accountability. Although these countries have not eradicated unlawful killings, impacts have been made such that lynching is seen as an aberration rather than a recurring social practice. The time is ripe for the country to recommit itself to the sacred duty of protecting every citizen, especially those in its care. Anything less would signal that the rule of law is negotiable, which is a price no nation can afford to pay.
That script on reducing the trend of jungle justice was written by an intern from the Polytechnic, Imesili, Osun State, Temitayo Ayodili, and read by Belinda Quadri. To end the news at 11 on Premier FM 93.5, here again are the day's top stories. The All Progressives Congress APC in Oyo State has vowed to approach the 2027 general election with unity of purpose. Property owners affected by the circular road demolition on our local government area of Oyo State have appealed to Governor Seyi Makinde to fast-track the payment of compensation approved for their demolished buildings. And on the foreign scene, we told you that the International Criminal Court, ICC, says it has concrete evidence linking leaders of the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF, to recent war crimes in the Sudanese state of Darfur. For any information, contact us on these numbers, 0802 334 5294 and 0803 24 29552. That ends the news at 11 on Premier FM 93.5. It was edited by Olabi Fadansi. I'm Emilia Ujimudia, thanking you for your time. Coming up next is Akojopo Iroyin, that's the Yoruba translation, and Ambassador Adetayo will take us through that.